Testing, testing. No. Testing, testing. Oh, yeah. Testing, yeah.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our...
You are one of over 148.
Well, it's a warm good afternoon from TIO Stadium. It's the 2023-24 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League. We're at the halfway mark, and that means round 9 action. It's the Darwin Buffaloes taking on the St. Mary's. I'm Ryan Sachs. I'll be joined alongside by Sam Clark. Sam, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's another warm one today. I think I start every game with that statement, but it's hot. It's hot out there. There's a breeze on the back oval and nothing circling on our oval here today. So I imagine this game will be a nice, tough, fierce game between the two sides.
Yeah, just before we dive into both sides, it's a big weekend for women's footy. Of course, the AFLW Grand Final tomorrow between the Lions and the Kangaroos. And I'm sure, Sam, we'll see a couple of these players at some stage in the near future participating on the biggest stage.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. Like the likes of Emma Stark and all the girls out there supporting her too. She's definitely on their radar. She's put umpiring on hold this year just to focus on footy, so it'd be great to see her. Just one of the many out there. There's also Stephanie Williams as an emergency on our team sheet, so an ex-AFL women's player. So I'm sure that she'll be valuable if she's down there on the bench for Buffs today too.
Yeah, and of course St. Mary's second on the ladder, 6-1, just behind Pint, who have, I believe, are undefeated so far, and Buffaloes sitting about mid-table with 4 wins, 3 losses. You would think on paper that St. Mary's are the favourites. So what do the Buffaloes have to do to get over the top here against this classy outfit?
We definitely think on paper Saints top any list in the NTFL. They are a talented team. It's just piecing all that talent together to make a good game of footy. Last week the Saints were a bit shocked with Palmerston's body and pressure took them about a half of footy to get into that game. So I'm sure that Buffs, being a very physical team, will be able to put that pressure on from the first ball up, and Saints will need to respond to that if they are wanting to get on top. So the ball's just been thrown up to start at the first quarter, and Molly Oldhouse in the rucks just won that over Hillman from St. Mary's. And the ball's just come loose, and Buffs have picked it up out the back with a quick kick on the right by McLeod there. The ball's just bouncing just over the halfway line, and a lovely trap by Buffaloes there, with it just ping-ponging between some players and nobody really getting a clean pick-up at the moment. But looks like Saints have picked it up and been wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up to kick us off.
Yeah, I think if Buffaloes are to get on top, they've got to take those sort of things from Palmerston last week and also move the ball quite quickly.
Definitely. So Oldhouse has just won that ruck tap again against the tall Hillman, and it's been wrapped back up. And we'll have a ball up. So nice and physical to kick us off. But you got Hillman in the ruck there for Saints, and that's her first game today in Premier League. She played Div 1 on Wednesday night. She's over from Cairns. So she's tall, long arms. She'll be a great addition to their ruck and throughout the midfield too. She can sort of play a bit of a roving position as well. So she's a bit of a utility. So as the ball goes back up, Oldhouse just takes that out of the ruck and follows her own work up there with a quick kick out the pack, and Forshaw's marked that and kicked it out to a wing, nice and spacious out there for Emma Stark, who's just snapped it round on the right into the middle, but straight into the hands of, looks like McLeod there from Buffaloes. And she's kicked back out onto that wing. You got about 3-on-2 here, so you'd hope Saints would push in and really clog that ball up. But Buffs have picked it up cleanly and just tapped it out, and Forshaw again out the back there against McLeod from Buffaloes, who's picked that up. A quick handball, lovely work there between those two Buffalo girls, and a short kick that's just rolled out, and you'll get a lasso free kick, I'd imagine, for St. Mary's about halfway.
Yeah, just a bit of a territory battle early on at the moment, just looking to who's going to blink first, who's going to warm up to the game quickest.
Definitely. So St. Mary's just kicked that ball long, and it's just bounced over everyone's heads, and Hillman straight onto it there, and a kick in top of the 50 there, and a good contest with the Buffaloes winning that, but balls come out. Molly Oldhouse, beautiful clean skills and a quick handball over outside to McLeod. She's had a great start in and under in that midfield, but Buff's still on top, moving it fast, as you said, with a clean pick up by Fomacong, who's just put her head over the footy there with Wongamara following, but Miller's come up with that for St. Mary's, and a quick kick out the back, but Oldhouse with her knowledge, skills and some candy there. She's just stepped around a couple and banged it on the right and straight down into a contest, but balls come to the deck with some hands out the back with Forshaw and a quick kick, but turned over again by McLeod there with a handball just in the nick of time from there, and Winetti's picked that up and gone out wide for St. Mary's. So it's just sitting out in our wing, and Ali Triggs kicked it long to space, hoping that her teammate will just run over the back there, and that's Monet Hunter, who's just tapped it forward. Lovely pick up, quick hands to Billy Byers. Another beautiful string of handballs there for St Mary's, and a one-on-one between Stark and Nikki, and it's just popping out the back there, but Buffs have got it with a nice composed Lucy Lewis there that you'd expect, but she's turned it over to Hillman, who was just sitting in that hole there, just waiting for that, but not a great kick, straight to Buffs in there, and they're going to switch it, which is smart on their behalf, straight out to the fat side, working nice and hard here with a long kick down to Roberts, who's just turned around and played on, looking for a teammate there who looks like she's got some speed, but Forshaw's corralling her, and a little snap around on the right, and a great mark by Carr there, and she'll just push back, and she's looking for the switch. She's just changed that lanes. Dangerous kick. Great contest in the middle there, and just taken without the ball, St Mary's. So they'll get a chance to reset here, and they'll just push back. So great start by both teams. And that kick's gone out wide to Hillman on the wing, who's just taken a mark. And she'll have a look for lots of movement in St Mary's half forward at the moment, but they're all leading to the same spot, which isn't helping them. So she's just banged it up to the top of the 50, and Lewis under it. You've got 2-on-2 with there. Nice bodywork by Buffs there. I think that's Ransom. But straight onto it is Jeanette Grant, who's just doing well to just sort of hold it in without giving away that free kick, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, both teams structured pretty well at the moment. That St Mary's defence being excellent as per standard, but also Buffs looking pretty dangerous when they're going forward. Just need that link up towards their forwards.
Definitely an Old House just used her body then and just pushed Hillman out the ruck there, who's coming off for a spell, a very deserved break. But Buffs have got a clear possession in the middle there, and they're onto it, pushing the ball into their forward half. But it's just been picked up by St Mary's, and a quick kick straight through the middle of the ground. You got a couple of Buffs girls, a couple of Saints girls, and Buffs have gone straight out to just Jeanette Grant, who's taken a mark on our close nearest wing here. And Jeanette, lovely little kick, but a great contest by Buffs there, and St Mary's just flooding there. There's about a 5-on-3 at the moment, so some quick hands by Grant to Trigg, who just boots it long. Probably not the best option. She had Byers down the line, but nevertheless, Saints will jump onto it, and the ball's just squirted out the back there. So some great handball link-ups here for St Mary's, but they just need to get it on the boot and have a look for a teammate there who, well done by Jordan Mifsud there. I stumbled over her name last time she played, and I'm sure I'll do it all game today, but Buffs have just jumped on that ball and kicked it out wide. An Old House there, beautiful strong body, and just gets those hands free for a handball out, but Saints are set up nicely off the back here, and Byers just head over the footy there, just holding that space and allowing her teammates time to get back and help her. And Jeanette Grant with the footy again. It's just done a nice little kick, look for a teammate there, and there's 3 girls, but Hughes has come out with a beautiful mark. And Buffs are sitting in their forward line, so great option by Hughes there to have a look across the middle of the ground and find a teammate in Parnell there, who's just nailed the kick to Joe Miller, who's about 40 out, and I would say have a crack here, Joe.
Yeah, well, the Buffaloes were pretty well set up here. They were all kind of in that sort of zone defence here on the pocket closest to the broadcast side, and of course the switch back into the middle, spread out the defence, and they found the open woman.
So Joe Miller has just kicked that one short. Didn't come off the boot nicely, but in there, her teammate in Creed Ray's backed it up with a quick handball out. Great pressure from the 3 Buffs girls against the 5 Saints in here, but Saints have come out with it in a quick kick, and 2 girls have gone up for it for St Mary's, but keeping her space there as Hunter has just had a quick kick around the body, and out comes a strong Saints forward, back out to Joe Miller on the left. She's hoping it'll bend, doesn't quite bend far enough, and a behind has scored. So that's the first score of the game, and we're about 7 minutes through.
Yeah, those quick handballs are looking really good for St Mary's at the moment, but not to discredit Buffalo's. Their effort's been up at the moment.
Absolutely. So they've just booted it outside the 50, which I think it'll just roll out. So a lovely long kick then, but the umpires have called a ball in just outside the 50. Oh no, St Mary's have taken it. So you got Sarah Hum there with the footy. She's about 50 out, and she's played on and given herself a bit more room to come around. And looking for Stark there, who just got a bit caught under with a bit of body pressure there, but straight back out to Byers. He just dropped that mark, but there's a 2-on-1 out there, and she just steps nicely. Great smother by Buffaloes there, but Delacour straight onto that. And a slip over in their forward line, and some really smart footy by Buffs here, just staying quite composed and doing what they need to do when they do have the footy, not overusing it or getting a bit stressed with it. So they've just kicked it out to the far side wing, and it's just been turned over by St Mary's again and just bombed straight back in and turned over there by McLeod.
Yeah, just seeing that famous wall from them, St Mary's women's. I mean, they're just getting the ball straight back after this exit kick. Yeah,
and I think as they've squished everyone up in that forward half, there's no one apart from one girl in their Buffs forward half. So the ball's being kicked back in to Saints forward, and then the mark's been spilled, and Miller out the back onto the left there, but she hasn't got anyone to compete there with Stokes, it looks like, in the fullback position, and she'll look to switch it here, I hope, and really open up that ground like they did before. And when they got that nice run on, it has a bounce there, lovely work. And Forshaw's looking like she's sitting under it, but doesn't quite get there. And Roberts straight onto it, but couldn't take it cleanly. But ball's still in dispute on the ground. Grant's in there. Carr's picked it up, but ball's been spilled out, and this Parnell's kicked straight into the middle of the ground with Polo, little Lavina there. She's got a bit cleaned up after that. No free kick, but play on, and McLeod's wrapped up at the bottom of that pack.
Much credit to the Buffaloes' defence at the moment. They've been under attack, and they've only given up the 1 point, so they've done really, really well down back.
I think they're just playing some smart footy here. Like, Saints are really working that ball and really using their fitness, but Buffs are just holding strong. And a lovely bump there from the Buffaloes player, and the ball's come out, and they've got it again inside St Mary's 50, but a boot out straight into the middle of the ground with Forshaw. Beautiful trap there, and read that nicely. She's composed, and a lovely kick straight in with a beautiful chest mark taken by Mifsud there. And she'll go back, the VFL women's best and fairest out there today. She wants to say a little bit under the radar, but how can you leave her under the radar when she's got a nice range like that? So she's about 40 out, I'd say, and I'd hope she'd get this almost through, if not to the top of the goal line there. So beautiful kick off the boot and a lovely work, but it's gone through for a behind.
Just like to credit the entry there. It was much better from St Mary's. We just seen them kind of just putting it back in, getting the pressure on, but they just lowered the eyes, and it was a good ball there. Yeah,
and I think they did that last week. They credit to Tash, absolute gun of the women's footy in the Northern Territory, but they just kept kicking it to her last week. She would have taken about 20 marks against them. So Buffs have kicked this one out, and they had a nice short mark, but it's just gone out to that far side wing, and the ball's stayed in with another beautiful link up of handballs from St Mary's, and they've just bombed it to the top of their 50, and a mark taken by Buffaloes, who she's played on, looking for Stokes there in the middle, I think that is. And the Buffaloes are surging here. They've got a few spare players around the ball if they can just get those quick, clean hands out. And the umpire's paid holding the ball. I thought she got a handball to that, but great work by Grant there, who's played on, and a beautiful kick and mark to Emma Stark there. So Emma's going to have a look for straight in the middle there to an undersized Polo, but the mark's been spilled, and to her credit, that's her strength there to just clean that ball up off the ground. And Mifsud tackled strongly and just slung off the ball there, and the umpire's paid that. So Mifsud will get a free kick about 45 out. She's looking a bit sore from that nice strong sling.
Maybe a little bit of undiscipline there, because Buffaloes were out just about a minute ago, and then obviously the turnover, probably a 50-50 free kick there, but I don't think the umpire probably got a good enough view. But yeah, now St Mary's, you can't be giving them shots all the time, because they will hit these shots and they will punish.
Absolutely. So Mifsud's coming off here, so Byers will take this free kick. I think Buffaloes here are just really playing smart, as I said before. They're just setting up where they need to. They're not overusing it. They just, if those clean skills, if anything, would help them a bit more, get that footy over halfway. And Byers has just taken this kick, and she's just hung it right for a third behind for St Mary's.
Well, she's got the placement there, right? You can't see it on screen, but the flags are going straight towards the other side of the ground, so you do need to hang it out just to the right of the right side goalpost and bring it back on the breeze.
So Old House on kicking in duties here, and she's banged it about 65 out, and it's just gone straight over the back there, but Miller with a lovely little toe poke off the ground, but Buffs will take this, and that is Alicia Jeffrey, who's just kicked it back into the middle of the ground and turned it over. So the ball's just in dispute, but Amelia Carter sitting out the back waiting for that quick hands, but Saints get a quick kick out and taken by Winetti, who plays on looking for a lovely boot straight to Billy Byers, who's just dropped that mark unfortunately, but nevertheless she'll do something special here with it, and she chucks it on the right, goes for a bit of a snap and just hangs it left this time. So Saints just peppering those goals, which, as you said before, with Forshaw, when she lowered those eyes and just hit up a target in, that was probably their better chance of scoring. So so the ball's been taken out here from the Darwin Buffaloes, but turned over straight to Joe Miller. Just didn't quite come off the boot there of that Buffaloes player, and Joe Miller will look to bang it in nice and long on that left boot. She just hangs it about 25 out. Nobody takes a real clean mark, but Senior's there first to the footy with a nice clean pick up, and she looks for a teammate. Not the best kick straight in, but nevertheless turned over by Creed Ray, who has a shot on goal, but a teammate in long just sitting there picks it up. Quick handball straight through for St Mary's there, and that was Polo who kicked that one, the under-18s gun, who's had a few Women's Premier League opportunities, and she's really stepping up to the plate.
Well, I think it was only going to be about a matter of a time before St Mary's got on the board with a major, because just felt like the mistakes were just starting to get into that Buffaloes defence. A couple of missed kicks and turnovers and a couple of free kicks as well, and you can kind of already see it with them. Just a few hands on hips, just there was a little bit of jogging in that play, so obviously the heat getting to some players and having the ball basically live down that end for most of this quarter, it's hurt them now.
Yeah, I definitely think St Mary's are the fitter side today, and you can tell that with Buffaloes, but it did get stuck there, but Saints just attacking and got rewarded in the end. So we're into time on now with only one goal scored, and the ball's going back up in the middle, and Hillman wins that tap straight over to a teammate in Winetti, who's being pursued by Old House, and lovely tackle. Tackle is rewarded, so Old House will take a free kick in the middle of the oval there, and you would think she would slow this one down. She just hung that ball up in the air a little bit and allowed Sarah Hum to just take a nice, easy, uncontested mark. So she's looking to switch the ball over to a teammate in Trigg, who takes a mark, and you've got Monet Hunter hanging out here calling it on the wing, but she goes long to a teammate in Hillman. Another beautiful chest mark there. This is a lovely play by St Mary's off their half-back, and she'll just lower the eyes and look for a target, and didn't quite nail that kick, but Miller nevertheless again in there just competing with a senior taking that ball, and another lovely goal from St Mary's. It's rolled through.
Well, that's the kind of composure that we expected Buffaloes. I mean, that move from half-back was really good, just to switch it, get out to the free woman, and of course a shot on goal, which has rolled through. That's just basically what Buffaloes need to be doing, is just, you know, their defence has been really composed, but I think it's their midfielders just probably rushing a little bit there. We saw that just high kick that ended up being a turnover into St Mary's favour, and it's ended up in a goal. So just a bit more composure when they have the ball, the Buffalo midfielders.
Yeah, I think Saints' work rate just then helped them. So Old House with that free kick on the far side, turned over by Sarah Hum, and she switched it back to the other side, and they just couldn't, Buffaloes just couldn't keep up with Saints there. And some beautiful skills, which was nice to see in our women's game, really developing, but that's, I think, what got them over the line. And the ball's gone back up, and the tap's won by Hillman, but Old House with a long handball out and scooped up on the back by Forshaw, who's handballed it to Trigg with another quick handball and booted on the siren there. So that takes us to the end of the first quarter between Darwin Buffettes and St Mary's. It scores 0 to Darwin Buffaloes, and Saints 2 goals for 16.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
And a bit of constructive talk. I know it's hard, we've been all from the same footy club, but we've come together for this. Show that passion in the NT Guernsey, get in their face.
Here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. Played their hearts out, and obviously it's not what we play 6-6-6 and 7 on the bench, so it's a little bit different, but you know what, we can't ask for anything more. The girls put their bodies on the line, and they went in and they went hard, and you know, some of it was unrewarded, but that's footy.
Well, it's welcome back to TIO Stadium for the 2023-24 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League Round 9 action. Buffaloes and Saints. Saints holding a 16-point lead, 2 goals for. A little bit of inaccuracy, but work to do for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I think St Mary's in the last 5 to 6 minutes of that last quarter just managed to really get on top of the game there, and scoring those last 2 goals in the last 5 minutes really helped them. And I think they'll carry that into the second quarter. That's just got underway, and Joe Miller picked up cleanly out the back, banged it around on the left there, and the ball's just rolling, and nobody's got a real clean possession in there, and a holding free kick's been called by the non-controlling umpire there to St Mary's. I'm not sure they know who's taking it, but Emma Stark will take it nevertheless, and she looks wide to a teammate in Miller who's played on and kicked it straight into a beautiful kick and a beautiful mark straight into Grace Senior there, who's just going to take this back and have a shot on goal.
Great work from St Mary's. What they've done really well so far in this game is spreading that defence out. Of course, they were coming close to the boundary, and then the switch back inside, and now they've got a shot on goal.
Yeah, it's nice to see some good skills on display today in women's footy. It's really developing, and it's great to see it. And as Senior comes in to take that kick, she's nailed it straight through and kicked St Mary's third goal in 1 minute into the second quarter.
Well, you said it. It's an early goal, and it's pretty huge in the context of this game. Of course, Buffalo's yet to score, and definitely not the start the Buffaloes were looking for, and especially in that first quarter we saw them come out pretty early with some intense pressure, making it a territorial battle. And of course you don't want to see St Mary's moving the ball so quickly and scoring so quickly, because they know that they will pile it on.
Yeah, and I think Miller's been a real standout already. She's an absolute workhorse through the middle there, and she's been influential in almost every contest, and the ball's gone back up there. Not quite the most perfect ball up there, nevertheless Buffs won it, and it's just come off the back for St Mary's, who are just going to take it out wide to Trigg there, who's pursuing that on the far side wing, and she turns and goes with a kick down the line to a teammate in Hunter there, and Polo in there just being held on to, and the umpire will pay her that free kick. So Polo there with a free kick on the far side wing. She kicks it, just puts it up out in front of Stark, who competes in the air, competes on the ground, snaps it on the right, and just rolling ball inside, and a bump by Molly Oldhouse onto Molly Hughes, and Oldhouse has just won that with a quick handball out, and a mark there by Roberts in their half-back. She's looking to switch, a dangerous switch straight into the middle of Saints forward 50, and the ball's just in dispute on the ground there with a kick out of the pack by Hughes. She's had a flying shot, and Emma Stark there just pursuing it to the boundary. She's got a bit of a paddock here. She composes herself, sets it up, can't quite bring it around, but it's just bounced inside the boundary on the other side pocket, so we'll have a ball in.
Well, we talked about it earlier in the game and a little bit off air that Buffaloes need to be composed, and you can't be doing those dangerous switch kicks, especially against St Mary's. You just cannot.
Yeah, interesting from Roberts there, a very experienced player, so she'll be needing to move on from that kick, and it's just rolled out over the far side boundary again, so we'll have another throw in. But Roberts there, she won't do that again. She'll know the outcomes of that one. But as the ball comes back in, Hillman takes front position over Bancevic, and she's just picked it back up and knocked it out with a beautiful tackle by Hughes on Buffaloes, with Sarah Hum taking that footy, but no advantage because it's a Buffaloes free kick and in the back. So a free kick to Ransom, who will take it from their Buffaloes half back, and she's just looked out wide to a teammate who just worked under the footy there, but pursuing it is Hart Aluni, who kicks it down the line into some space, and Delacour will look to pick that up and take on just a quick throw to herself by accident. It's just slipped out, but she's kept going, and Carr in there with a quick hands out to Delacour, who turns around, smacks it on the right into some space on that far side wing, with Hughes putting the shepherd on for Trigg to pick it up, who's run away with it in a boot straight down the line. Not a great kick, but a 2-on-1 there. That Buffaloes player will just look to hopefully run it over the boundary, but Roberts picks it up on the left, and Trigg set up nicely out the back there with a quick kick in. Senior just getting caught behind those two Buffs defenders Nevertheless, still pursuing it. The ball's just been on the deck more than it's been in hands in the last minute, I reckon. But it's been wrapped up and we'll get a ball up. But just on the far side wing, or far side flank of St Mary's forward 50. So Hillman versus Mancevic in the ruck again, and Hillman's tapped it, managed to get it back from her and a kick inboard, but Buff have turned it over with McLeod. A lovely pickup, but great tackle by Grant there, and she's been rewarded with the umpire just getting cleaned up by McLeod in the back there. He's just maintained his feet while Grant's just waiting for that ball to take her free kick. So she'll have hopefully she'll lower her eyes and look for a target, just being on marks on the 50 there. And she does, and she's got a beautiful kick straight out in front to Hunter, who just couldn't quite take that mark. Nevertheless, Grant's followed her own work up, and her second and third effort here has been great. But McLeod with a handball out, and Hunter back with that footy. She's been pursued by Lucy Lewis, who's just ripped it off of her, and it has got a free kick for herself, and she'll look out wide here, looking for a teammate in... that's Nikki, sorry. And she's pushed her player off, done a beautiful kick with a nice strong lead coming from the back line there. And she's on a roll. She's handballing to herself. She knows she's in Bianca Stokes there. She knows she's in territory of the Saints with a 3-on-1. And boundary umpires called a lasso. Field umpires called a ball in. They'll have a little chat about this. But a really great work rate from Stokes just then. She's obviously getting a bit bored in that half-forward line down there. So she's pushed up, and they've paid the free kick, and it looks like Byers will take that. And she's done a short dinky kick, not effective, but follows her own work up into the wing, and she's at the bottom of that pack there. She's just pushed it out. McLeod's clean pickup, and Henry there, that's the first time I've called her name today. I was expecting a bit more, but they've paid something here, and nobody knows whose free kick it is, but Winetti will take it. Umpires, they've all got no idea, and he's yelling at them. And either way, Winetti takes that free kick, and she's looked to switch it, just dropped short of Hum there, I think, and it's been wrapped up. A great tackle by Fomakong there, just to keep it into their Buffalo's forward half.
Yeah, this is the area that needs fixing, I think, for Buffalo's. This half-forward line really need to work hard.
So Forshaw just there, just managed to pull that ball out of the pack and get a kick to it, but it's just rolled forward, and it's just sitting at halfway now, and everyone's kind of just standing there ball watching, but a quick handball out the back to Emily Forshaw by Billy Byers, and the ball's just bodies flying here. The ball's just being ping-ponged in and out, but a kick by McLeod into their forward line, and the umpires paid a free kick from where that kick was taken to St Mary's.
Thought Buffs had some pretty good pressure there. Pretty unfortunate, I think, for the free kick, because I think they might have been on there, but yeah, maybe just a few things not going Buffalo's way at the moment.
Definitely. So Creed Ray will take that free kick in the middle, and she looks out wide. She'll be looking for Hillman here, who's come off that half-forward line, but just cut off there by a teammate in Fosbrook. But Carr with the quick hands out the back, and Fosbrook again with a short kick in, looking for Byers there, but nevertheless Delacour's got it and been cleaned up after she's kicked, but Buffs have turned it over again at that 40-metre mark from St Mary's forward line, and a kick out by McLeod to a teammate who's running onto it. She's in a better position, and pursuing her is Long, who's just pushed her off, and it's worked while St Mary's have just dropped that mark. But Mifsud with a kick around the corner to nobody in particular, but Lucy Lewis is sitting under that. Roberts is there. You've got Saints girls there. Lucy Lewis first one there, not picked up, and Creed Ray looking for the free kick off the ball. The umpire's not having it, and he'll pay a free kick to Buffaloes. So Roberts has got it on the far side wing. So I think definitely after the first 2 minutes, Buffaloes have really come to the party this quarter now, and really putting that physical pressure on St Mary's, forcing those turnovers. But a lovely kick by Joe Miller to Mane Hunter on their half-forward line. He's looking for a teammate, and Forshaw's just popped up. Great work by Winetti there to just put that shepherd on and allow Forshaw that run from behind, and she'll have a shot on goal, I'd say, from another one about 40 out.
This will really sting the Buffaloes, of course, making it a 28-point lead if she can nail this.
So she's coming in. She's absolutely shanked that, and it's a rolled across the boundary line for a ball in.
Well, you just discussed that Buffaloes have definitely been a bit more physical around the play and in this quarter, which is definitely what we're looking for. But I think, obviously, you can't really just say being physical is better than ball skills. And we know how good St. Mary's can be with the ball in hand, and they've showed it so far. So just the Buffaloes need to be clean.
Definitely. So a bit of a shallow ball in there, but Bancevic just followed her own work up, and the ball's just being held in here. She's thrown it out, knocked it out. There's a couple of Buffs girls there. Nobody's really claimed it, but pursuing it is Watkins, who's just snapped it on the boot. A danky little soccer kick from Mifsud off the ground and marked by Sarah Hum. So she'll slow this play down and hope for a lead coming at her, but hasn't quite found a lead coming at her. So she's switched the ball across to Delacour, the half backliner, who's got the support of Hillman. She picks it up, quick kick into Forshaw. She's got a bit of space, but it turned over by Bancevic, who's handled it out to Lewis, and she's got a kick away out to the far side wing into some space there, and it's a one-on-one Delacour v Hanning there, and Saints supporters come in the form of Hunter, who's just caused that turnover. Oh, sorry, that was Joe Miller there. He's just caused that turnover. She's received the handball back and a kick inside 50, but the Saints girls there, they're getting their support and numbers to the ball, and Senior just takes the player on, fends one off, and a short kick drops into Kiara Henry, who will just look to switch this. So again, some smart footy by Buffaloes, but not a great kick, and turned over by Long, who's kicked it in, looking for a teammate in Senior, who's just dropped that mark. But a nice long handball to Callista there, who's still pursuing it, but Buffs have got numbers to the footy now. Miller out the back, Mifsud down there on the right, turns around. You've got a one-on-one in near the goal square, and Monet Hunter with a flying kick off the deck. Used her body beautifully there, and a flying kick's just gone straight through the goals as a St. Mary's kick their fourth goal for the game.
Well, how about that? I think we all thought that ball was probably just going to roll through for a behind, but incredible scenes. And I'd just like to talk about Joe Miller, who has put herself in a strong position in this game. For whatever reason, Sam, she's just by herself at the back of each contest, and she just keeps on ending up with it. So Buffaloes, whether it's a tag or just put someone on her, she's just tearing it up out here.
Yeah, she's a fit gal. She's an absolute workhorse. She's composed. She's got all the footy qualities that you want. I would almost say she's almost a Scott Pendlebury-like, in that just always composed, always out the back, doesn't overuse it, doesn't overwork it, knows where it needs to go, and credit to her. She's really setting up a lot of these plays for Saints today. So I think we'll have a 666 warning, it's 565, sorry, for Buffaloes. And the ball will go up, and Oldhouse versus Hillman in the ruck there, and Hillman with those nice tall long arms gets it, and Hughes a beautiful quick handball to the sweeper in Byers there, who looks for a target, and Creed Ray's just dropped that chest mark, but I think she will get a free kick. Playing in front always works. Lucy Lewis not happy with that one, but nevertheless, Creed Ray plays on, knows her distance, and looking for a teammate. It's just gone over the top, but Forshaw there to rove the ball. Outsized by her Buffs competitor in, it looks like Nikki there, but nevertheless holds it in and causes a ball up in deep inside Saints 50. So Senior will take this against Oldhouse, and Oldhouse just bodies her straight out, knows her well enough that she's a bit inexperienced, but Oldhouse bangs it on the boot straight to Byers, who just doesn't quite take that mark and is pursuing the 3-on-1 that Buffs have created here, and a beautiful run out on the wing, demanding her players forward, but didn't quite kick it to where they were. But pressure by Buffaloes here, and picked up by Hart Aluni, who's looking long, and you've got a one-on-one inside Buff's forward line, and picked up by Long there, and she's absolutely won that. But the support in Carr and the likes of Byers and Parnell here with a nice little handball chain, and putting Wungamara under pressure there, and Saints just with the huge numbers just sitting there waiting. So Buffs really needing to get that support for each other if they're wanting to stop this run. Nevertheless, though, those Buffs girls have managed to turn it over, but a free kick's been given to St. Mary's for a bit of a holding the ball and a throw there out of that tackle.
She did not like that call.
Not sure what she didn't like about it, because it was definitely there. It was definitely the right call. And Grant's done a nice short handball to Senior there. He's just pushed up into the ruck at the moment. And sitting under it was Fosbrook, who was just out-contested there by the Buffs player in Miller. But it's in Saints. It's rolled into Saints' forward line, and they couldn't quite get rid of it properly. So Buffs will get a free kick on their half-back flank. So the ball's come out to the wing. Mark dropped by Oldhouse, but a Shepherd maybe off the ball was called, and Oldhouse will get it. Nevertheless, plays on every time. She'll kick it. It's put a bit of height on that, so Parnell sitting under it, Ransom sitting under it as well, but the ball's just been brought to ground, and a contest there between Stokes and Grant. And we'll have a ball up in that Buffs forward half, just on the other, just inside the square. So as the ball goes up, McLeod versus Senior there now. And Body's just going into it as we come into overtime of this second quarter. You can see everyone hanging out for that break and just throwing their body at the footy there. So again, McLeod versus Senior. Senior follows it up with the double tap and wins that. Fosbrook jumps onto it, and we'll have another ball up there.
Yeah, definitely cannot be too much time left. Just wondering if a quick kick-out might work here for Buffaloes. We've got someone playing in front in their forward line, so...
Yeah, we've got 4 people in St Mary's forward half and 1 inside Buffs forward half, but nevertheless, it's come out for St Mary's, and Byers has taken a mark. She'll need to look for a teammate here, and she's calling someone in and out, calling them forward, calling them back, as she just bombs it, puts it up to the top of the square or just to the right, and Creed Ray pursuing that ball to the boundary line, and it will beat her. So we'll have a ball up deep inside St Mary's, forward 50.
Well, we can only imagine there's not much time left, and I'm sure that Buffaloes will not want to concede another goal here. Things could get ugly if that goes St Mary's way. No,
but there's about 6 of them walking in the middle of the field here, so they're looking a bit tired, and you'd hopefully want them to come push up in that red time and really dig deep to not allow that goal to happen. So that ball in will just be recalled. It's just fallen short, and we'll see another one come in, and that is the half-time siren, sorry.
Yeah, Buffalo's yet to score in this half, but St Mary's with a 28-point lead with 4 goals, 4 behind. But we'll be right back after this break for the second half.
You are one of over 148,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you'll need a battery-operated radio, a torch with spare batteries, enough food, and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. All important documentation such as passports, treasured photos, and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season.
It's Scott again with the right boot. Just gone across the face, ball in play. Cooper Darm's absolutely everywhere today. Opts for a check side kick and is happy with it.
Yes.
And just like that, Nightcliff go bang. Though an Eilert hands that one off to Zust. Zust pushes that one forward, trying to find an option forward. Adrian Scott lurking again. He does a 360, boots that one short, sharp, and it bounces. It walks forward. Bit of a bounce. Still no clear possession. We've just takes one bounce there, pushes it forward. He's got his second bounce. It's looking beautiful. He opts for a chip kick in. He might go all the way.
And he does.
Just like that. That was stunning from Tristan Singh-Lippo. He picked up nicely there, however, turned over quickly by Swartz. Swartz at a running goal. He goes bang. And that's Southern Districts with another goal in a matter of minutes here at TIO Stadium. Is that one through forward there in Ryan. Ryan pushing forward, looking for options. It might be Waistcoat that runs onto it. He's under pressure, shrugs it off. A little check slide kick. And just like that, Southern Districts have hit the front. He's still out there.
Oh, yes.
I held my breath. Phenomenal. What a kick. Working forward, he's kicked it high. It's going to be dangerous to who can get under it. He's put his fellow forwards in danger, but it managed to find a boot through. Phenomenal. And that was through the boot there.
Brett Kennedy.
Beautifully done.
Out of his hands. Play on was the call as Nightcliff just trying to work it out wide to Zeus, who hooks it round the corner and evades everyone down there.
Call me, he says. Call me.
Cody Zeus.
It's just bounced, unfortunately, there for Tristan Singlipo, but picked up nice through Emery. Put on the foot there, but doing his best to get that one and kicked forward. Just like that. The crowd's happy about it too. That was brilliant there from Brett Kennedy.
Ground level, Philo reads it beautifully and then drills the pass forward. Zust is off and running inside forward 50, kicks long towards goal. He's kicked another one. It's another Nightcliff goal to start the quarter, and he likes a celebration, Cody Zust. And Stanley kicks the ball straight down the centre corridor. Waistcoat dives in, couldn't take it, but Ross on his left foot again, if you don't mind, has banged through another one, and can they come back? Sing attack for Districts as that's a shocking kick. Yeah, as it comes out here to Jonathan Ross on the right foot this time. He swings it round through for a goal, and the kick across goal there.
In this space in the last 12 minutes, so I'd be nervous. They need to get a clearance and get it early, otherwise this might happen. And just like that, turned over.
Brander again, always a dangerous presence up forward, and Bill's out now. Maney runs onto it. He's under some pressure. He's going to get caught. This hand pass goes straight into the hands of Jackson Grundy and runs in and kicks the open goal.
Phenomenal. And umpire says that'll be a free. And there it is. That's a siren. Nightcliff hang on by the absolute skin of their teeth to be able to get this one over the line.
So we're here on a Friday night for our NAB AFL Auskick, where we run a girls only option, and the kids are pumped, ready to rock and roll and have some fun with the footage.
We signed our daughter up for Auskick because her big brother did Auskick last year and she just loves it. I thought signing her up for a girls only group would be a great chance for her to kind of be with some friends in a comfortable environment.
The thing about a girls only team that I think Zoe really enjoys is that she gets to run around with like-minded girls. They get distracted, they do cartwheels, they hold hands, they sing. It just makes it a bit more of a fun experience.
I like Auskick because I get to play with my sister. We love Auskick!
A number of parents have asked if their daughter has to be in your girls group, and they don't. There will be some girls that will naturally just gravitate to brothers or cousins and join the boys group and have just as much fun if it were to be single sex. So yeah, there's definitely options there every Friday night.
My girls just love interacting with the other girls here. They love kicking a footy, they love learning the skills, and they love the hot dog at the end. I love joining in with my girls. I actually can't help myself, and I love to see the skills not only of my kids but of the other kids in their girls only group really developing over the clinic.
Evie just loves playing the games, learning new things. She'll be doing it then for the rest of the weekend, doing her favourite kicks, telling us how many goals she kicked on Friday night.
The best thing about Auskick is that it's really fun. It's lots of fun for them.
Yeah!
now, working around the St Mary's players, kicks it inside 50. Darcy Chergwin back there for St Mary's, drops the mark. Palmerston have a shot on goal, and you wouldn't believe it, Tash, but they've kicked the first goal of the game.
Yeah, good clearance as well, and the goal, I think, scored there by Adam Parry. You know, they're always saying St Mary's get the free kicks. That's an example. Good stat.
Cora flies, but can't take the mark, and it's Klusky again, just picks it up, puts it on the right. Gone through for a goal. Oh, Ted Castle in the 33.
Oh, what a pickup. What a goal. Now... So doing well, the big fella back there. Klusky dances around one, manages to get his boot to ball, and by himself was the St Mary's player, and that's Bertrand, and he kicks the goal. First goal of this quarter. Gwyn was running past, trying to get the hands. Lant plays on now. They were asleep to it. Has a shot from just on 50, and he's drilled it, the captain. And just falling asleep there, the Maggies players. He loves to play on. Used his body well on the big full forward. Oh, Coralwood just took it too easily and has a snap, and he's taken it out of the ruck, and he's kicked his fourth. Just too easy there, too strong. Went about a metre and then kicked forward there by Barnett, and underneath it all by himself was the Palmerston player, and the handball over the top. Patolo will play on and waltz in and kick his second goal of the game, and Palmerston finally have their fourth goal, and it's close to half time.
Going to send it inside 50. He's got Jackson Calder, but the kick doesn't quite get to him. But Jack Lant picks it up, puts it on the boot, and puts it through for another goal for St Mary's. He's regain momentum. Bodie Sauter tapping it out in front of him now inside 50. Little handball to Dylan Lant. Chucks it on the left, and that's another goal to St Mary's. Jack Lant, followed by his brother Dylan Lant. Everyone tries to pick up the ball, but just chucks the handball over the top for the runners. Corowa picks it up, a handball out wide to Klusky, turns around and kicks a beautiful goal. Jack Klusky for his first of the day. More importantly, the second highest for accuracy inside 50. So
here they go again.
Here they go again through Bo Tedcastle. Nice and easy. Puts it on the boot. I think that one has
snuck in. He has. Just waiting for the goal umpire. We're waiting. Finally. His defender on the chest was trying something different. It didn't work. Bennell stole it from the St Mary's player, running into the goals, and will kick it is Marika. So Denzel Marika, quickly for him, didn't have to break stride, and then puts it at the ankles of his brother. Corowa comes through like a front and centre, like a rover, and drills the goal and kicks his sixth. How's that for a big fellow? And also no talk by the Palmerston Magpies teammates to let him know he was hot, and here's Jack Lant, just kicked one less than a minute ago.
Kicks it from about 53 metres out.
Swing that
is a goal. Jack Lant with the goal. Jackson Calder standing under it and puts the two hands up in the air. Husky running hard at it, but it misses everyone. Goes over the back to Jack Lant, puts it on the boot. He's kicked another goal for St Mary's, and they've gone over the 200 mark, 32-12, 204. So the final siren has gone. It is St Mary's who recorded a huge win over the Magpies. The final score, 33-12, 210 to the Magpies, 5-5-35.
Looking for a fun day out with your family or friends? Head on over to Palmerston Mini Golf. With our beautifully landscaped course suitable for all ages, you'll have a blast playing mini golf here at Palmerston. We offer the perfect setting for kids' birthday parties, complete with special packages to make their day unforgettable. And if you're looking to have some fun with your mates, we have you covered too. Play during the day or under lights. We're open until 10 p.m.
And we'll see you around Palmerston Mini Golf.
Find us at the Palmerston Golf and Country Club.
And back
mark by pulling just outside the 50. He's got a player on the lead, Magro, and Magro out in front of Matty Campbell, takes the mark at full stretch. Kicked 7 a couple of weeks ago. He's online on this occasion as well. So the first goal of the game goes to Jaden Magro. So Kirby tried to grab that one out of the ruck, slipped through his fingers, and now there's another free kick. It's a Darwin free kick. Advantage is paid, and it's through for a goal. And I think that's Stafford, isn't it, that took the advantage there and picked up and snapped truly. Oh, this time he's missed by even more to the right. It's going to stay in play again as offhands Magro takes the ball, swings around on his left towards goal. I think he might have put that one through as well. He has. And a third goal for Tars, a third goal for Magro, and dry.
Well, welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's the 2023-24 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League. Round 9, Buffaloes St Mary's. Buffaloes yet to score, Saints up by 28 points. And Sam, joining alongside me, Saints looking very strong early on.
They are, and I'd hope to see him in this second half really just put the foot down and at least double, if not triple, that score that they've got on the board here that they deserve. But credit to Buffaloes, who have stemmed the flow and put that pressure on nicely. And as we start and kick off our second half, a flying kick out the middle by McLeod just gets Emily Forshaw in some space there, but she can't take the ball cleanly, and Buffs with the numbers out on the far side wing, and Hart Aluni sends it inside Buffs forward line in this first 25 seconds and turned over Long there. Beautiful contest, great follow-up, but a great tackle by Stokes, and Long managed to get that handball out, but Buffs with the numbers in, and they've kicked it back in, and Mifsud v Fomakong there, and Buffs with the numbers and a flying shot on goal, and I'm not sure who kicked that, but Buffaloes with the first goal of the third quarter here, and it looks like number 5, Michaela Farrow there for Buffaloes, kicked their first goal of the game.
Yeah, huge start for the Buffaloes, exactly what they would be looking for. And it was so good just to see him move it so quickly. And that's what I guess what we saw against Palmerston last weekend, is that they moved it quickly and they scored. And that's what you got to do against this St Mary's side, is you have to catch them off guard. Otherwise they'll set up too quickly and they'll just own the contest from there on out. So really good stuff there from Buffaloes to get in there, move it quickly, score quickly. And we need to see more of that, I reckon.
Yeah, and Jared Eilert, the runner for St Mary's, out there just yelling at those midfielders with some actions, telling them to looking like flood back. But as the ball goes up, the 227s, Hillman and Oldhouse against, and Hillman's won that tap and a handball out to Joe Miller, who's picked it up and won herself a high free kick. They've just grabbed her hair there, which happens in women's footy, but she'll take her free kick here. And just quickly around the grounds here, that Tiwi, their game against Wanderers over in Tiwi, they got up against Wanderers 142-4, which was good to see Wanderers have a few more scoring shots, and Tars took the chocolates over Nightcliff. A really unexpected win there for Waratah, but nevertheless, the ball's gone back inside St Mary's forward 50, but a turnover by Roberts there. He's just smacked it out to Joe Miller, who was in a great spot there, just waiting, and she'll lift the eyes, and a kick out wide to Sarah Hum, and it's just rolled across the boundary line, and then there'll be a lasso free kick for Darwin Buffaloes.
Just back to those women's scores, it's great to see Wanderers getting up and about there, and I know they haven't got a win yet, but good on them.
Yeah, I don't think they've kicked a goal yet, but it'll come. They've obviously had 4 scoring shots, and Maria Rioli really carved up there, kicking 4 goals for Tiwi today. But as the ball's been kicked back in, Amy Carr's turned that over in the middle of the ground, and she's kicked it across the far side wing or across the ground here, and picked up by Wongamara for Buffaloes, and Oldhouse has ended up with that and just put Carr on her bottom in the middle of the oval, and a quick kick forward, and Stokes versus Delacour down there, and Delacour just kicks the ball dangerously off the deck inboard, and coming in hard from the side was Fomakong onto Parnell, who won herself a free kick for putting her head over the footy there.
It's a good play there from Buffaloes. Quick again. It caught St Mary's off guard again, so got to keep it up now.
So Parnell looks to switch to Miller, who's just taken a nice chest mark on the edge of the centre square there, and she's played on, looking for a teammate down the line in Sarah Hum and Emma Stark there, but number 33, Boseville's there first for Darwin Buffaloes, and she just hurriedly kicks that, and it's gone over the boundary line, and St Mary's should take this Lasso free kick, I'd imagine. Unless it was touched.
Downfield free kick, I think. Something off the ball there, not too sure what it was.
That's right. Ransom for the Darwin Buffs has this, and she's kicked it to the top of the 50 there, and a great mark. Strong hands by Farrow, the only goal kicker for Darwin Buffs, and she's waving her hands that she's got nothing to kick to, but she finds looking for a target, the teammate there in Wungamara, but she's just sat in the back of that Saints player there at the bottom of that and managed to cause a ball up.
Another big chance here for the Buffaloes to get back on the board, just seeing what they can do here, what they can muster up.
So Old House wins that tap and roves her own ball, looks for the handball, goes for the boot instead, and Carr sits under it, drops that mark. But Ransom there, if she can get it cleanly, she doesn't keep her feet, but Carr does. Lovely work, Carr. And she's got a quick handball out to Hum, who's kicked it straight down to the far side wing, looking for a teammate in Emma Stark, who hopefully will just pick this up and turn and go, but takes the body first, and it hasn't benefited her with Buffs with that turnover. But Miller again read that beautifully off the handball of Buffaloes there, and she's tapped it, kicked it off the deck forward to a, hopefully looking for a teammate, but Polo just caught behind, and ball's still in dispute. No free kicks been found in here. And at the bottom of that Darwin Buffaloes player really putting her head over the line, and she's just copped a high free kick. So this will just slow this game right down. So looking at our goal scorers for St. Mary, you got Senior with the 2 goals there, the only multiple goal scorer, and Polo with that goal in the first quarter, and Monet Hunter with the beautiful off the deck, unsure, good body and everything, and just banged it through. And Buffs have got the ball outside on the far wing here, and a long kick down to a 1-on-1, but Fomacong's taken front position and been beautifully contested by Parnell, who's just roved on her own footy and picked it up, and Miller there just dropped that mark, but has got a teammate in Byers who just looks to change lanes and end up in the arms of Winetti. But Grace Senior on the bottom there is just a flying handball out, but Buffs have just got numbers out the back and a kick around the bend, but Mifsid's cut that off in the middle of the ground. So she'll look to switch a bit wider this time to Shiner, who's just hasn't quite got it, but she's followed up with a beautiful tackle there on McLeod, who's just not happy with that and held on to her, so she couldn't get it. But Saints with the kick in the forward line there, and Miller reading that well, has a look inboard. She's got Winetti, she's got Polo, she's got Byers all by themselves. Byers just loses her footing, but steadies herself up, has a shot on goal, and has just hung that left.
Pretty lucky there for the Buffalo's sake, I reckon. There was a lot of St. Mary's numbers in that forward line, and just not enough Buffs getting back to help out.
Yeah, and the Buffs have just got a bit of a space out here. Saints have just taken 2 players off as they've kicked that ball in, so they're going to have to sprint on. So Buffs have got a mark by Fomacong here and flooding back to their forward line, but Buffs have got 3 out the back, so they want to, as you said, want to go quickly here, and Old House has booted that ball in deep inside, or inside their 50, but good work by Long there to just get a hand to it, and marked there by Monet Hunter. And Old House getting a bit frustrated, I'd say. I would have paid that 50 way after it, but Hunter just picks it up, looking for a teammate out wide. Not marked by Bancevic, who's just come off the bench, but Miller again cleaning that up and looking for a teammate in Byers, who's got quick hands to Hillman, who's just under pressure and under siege. Straight to Hughes there though, but Hughes has looked for Stark, and beautiful work. She's just left her player in the dust and had all that space in there. So Emma Stark will take a nice kick about 30 out on a bit of an angle there.
One of the stars of our game up here, of course.
Absolutely. She gets a lot of media attention and a lot of it, and she is so composed with it all, and it's impressive to see for such a young person. So she's gone for a shot of goal, and it's just hit the woodwork there. It didn't come off nicely on the boot there, but I'm sure she'll be annoyed at that, and she'll look to turn this ball straight over if it comes out where she is.
Yeah, well, Buffaloes have just got to keep moving it quickly. Of course, they've got a forward standing by herself in their own forward 50, so if they can just move it quickly, catch St. Mary's sleeping on this defensive end, they can score. When we nearly saw it before, but of course the turnover from St. Mary's, and they had a shot on goal.
So nice. They've gone for a short option there to Hart Alooni, but Hart Alooni's had to go on long to a contest, and some quick hands from St. Mary's again out to Senior, who's just had a shot on goal, and there's a 2-on-1 in the goal square, but it's rolled through for a behind.
St Mary's love this type of stuff. They've got a great wall once the opposition has taken the kick out. Buffalo's been good with the kick out, but yeah, when it gets to about the 50-metre line, things get a little bit questionable, I would say.
So Buffs here with the kick out, and they're just getting it out of that 50 to Henry there. He's sitting under it. It's just dropped that mark, but she's followed her own work up, and she's on a run. She's a good runner. She's run straight up that wing. Had a long kick there, but it's overrun there by Long, but being in pursuit, and Delacour just stayed wide back to her teammate, got a quick hands out, and Henry following up her kick there, but Delacour with a great shepherd on there for allowing Long to pick it up and look for that space out on the far side wing, and Hum versus Bancevic out on that far side, and Hum manages to pick it up cleanly, and Hughes just waiting there for that slipped kick out the back, and she'll just look for Hillman at the top of the 50, who's looking for a handball here, just allowing that Creed Ray just to run off there in composure, and she's just looked for a teammate. Didn't quite come off the boot. Nevertheless, Hunter there to take that mark, who's played on, looking for Stark, a better kick, a better option. She's just in there by herself, three around her, and she just takes them on, backs herself, and kicks St Mary's 6th goal for the game.
Bit of redemption for that set shot, I reckon. But again, Buffaloes, they are out the back. They're prepped and ready for the fastball, but it just doesn't get there. And I'm not too sure what's going on, because it's just, it all seems pretty clean movement up until their half forward line, where it just seems to fall apart. So just got to really, if you're going to move it quickly, you have to be clean, and you can't at any time go slow against St Mary's, because as we saw, the turnover, things slowed down, Saints set up, and of course a goal results from it. So Buffaloes, they just got to be clean when they're going fast.
Yeah, I think the Saints half-backs are playing in front today, and it's really noticeable as they're attacking that footy first as well. So Buffs having that person out the back is probably almost a bit of a lazy setup, but it's not working for them, so they're going to have to get more attacking if they want to get back in this game. So ball's gone up, and coming out of the middle there was Farrow with a kick over to Buff's half-forward line, and Ransom allows Wongamara to take on a few, open her candy shop up. She's got to get rid of it now, because Senior's going to mow her down. And she earns herself that free kick.
Going for one of the highlights of the game there, but just not quick enough.
Too many Saints defenders in pursuit of her, and Senior's come out, and a beautiful mark over the back by Hunter, who's just used a bit of a step ladder there in Talia Corrie, and Hunter will look to go back to Senior inside that 50 and really looking to slow that play down, and I would expect Senior to go push it into the other far side wing, but she doesn't. She looks for a teammate in Grant, and the kick wasn't great, but in support there was Hughes, and a beautiful bump by Mifsud onto Molly Oldhouse. He's not easy to bump off the footy there, but Buffs have got it into their forward 50, and Wongamara just drops that mark there, and Senior at the bottom of that pack, but Bianca Stokes with the clean pick up, and in pursuit, Kiara Henry over the back with a beautiful soccer and a kick through for a goal.
Well, that's huge, and we discussed it. When you play quickly and cleanly, you're going to get rewarded, and finally we saw it with the Buffaloes there. Originally at that marking contest, it was a 2-on-1 in favour of Buffaloes, so when you go fast, you do catch St Mary's off guard, and they did it right then and there, and finally we see it get rewarded.
Absolutely. I think Saints just didn't quite work back hard enough, and I think Senior just needed to kick that ball into the space on the far side, knowing that Buff's fitness is lacking, and heading into the overtime of this third quarter, it would have really opened up that ground, and I think Saints, you would have seen it in Saints forward line instead of a goal to Buffs, but nevertheless, credit to Buff's forward line for their attacking pressure, and as the ball goes back up here is Shiner versus the Buffaloes there, sorry. And ball's come out. McLeod's just been tackled strongly with Winetti out the back there, and a flying kick into their forward line. But McLeod there, Stark there, Lucy Lewis in there, and Stark's just going to pop over the back, hoping for the ball to come out, and somebody will need to drop back onto her if Buffs are aware. But a few tired bodies out there now as we, again, 13 minutes has gone, so we'll head into overtime very soon. So the ball's gone up. Hillman versus Bancevic in there, and Hillman probably just won that, but some quick hands by Darwin Buffaloes. Releases Sophia Mauboy, the ex-Wanderers girl, and she's looking for a teammate in Alicia Jeffrey, who's just taken on the player and maybe just got that handball out, but The Buffs are really surging forward here, and Carr's just taken that off the deck nice and cleanly with Mifsud in the middle. She'll look to move it with a long handball to Grant, who's going to release Parnell off their half-back back to Grant. She looks for a teammate in Sarah Hum there, who's taken a beautiful mark and just telling everyone to slow down. So as you can see, Buffs have got about 5 or 6 in their back line back, and Sarah Hum called to play on. Not sure, must have gone off her line, but Stark picked it up, taken on the player, and has won herself a free kick for in the back, and that should be 50 there, but she picks it up, looking to play on, but being called back. The umpire's not having a bar of it. She'll be stoked that's called back because she's just kicked it behind.
I think she was a little bit unlucky with that free kick on us. So I thought it was a pretty good tackle. I know it was sort of in the back sort of motion, but I thought that was pretty good defensive pressure. I think she does have a right to a little bit of an argument there. But, yeah, thank goodness for Stark's behalf for not playing on there.
Yeah, I think once you take one tackler on, no matter what the next tackle is, unless it's going to take your head off, that's a holding the ball every day. So she's definitely lucky here, as she'll go back and take this free kick with no advantage paid. And Lucy Lewis dishing her some on the mark, giving her a good clap there, saying well done on that free kick. So she'll look to kick this from about 35 out, and she drops it. She keeps it low, and Shiner on the line there with a nice shepherd, and it's gone through for a goal.
Yeah, well, that'd be pretty disappointing for Buffaloes, and of course a little bit of redemption again for Emma Stark. Second time's a charm, it seems, for her at the moment. Yeah, but Buffaloes, the free kick and a goal, it's going to hurt, it's going to sting, especially after how well they just played a few minutes ago. And yeah, especially as we get into the late stages of this quarter, any chance of really giving themselves a real good chance in the fourth quarter is just starting to fade away if this keeps going on.
Yes, and it would be remiss of us not to mention Gemma Iacono not out there. She's in the beautiful purple gear as the runner on the boundary line, and I think we'll hope to see her back next week. She'll just bolster their stocks around the grounds either way. But as the ball's gone up here, taps one and rove there by Farrow, with Mifsud just collecting that ball at their half back, and Carr with a long kick down into the middle of the ground, but Malboy just in the back of the Hum there, so she'll take that free kick about exactly on the halfway mark there. So Hillman calling out for it on the wing here, which would be a good option, but she doesn't. She finds another teammate in the middle in Grant and nails that kick straight to her, and she'll take that mark and lift her eyes there, looking for Winetti down the line. And Winetti's worked hard to get there, but didn't keep her feet, but Carr followed up beautifully from that half back line. Quick kick around the corner. Don't know if that went 15, but mark paid to Buffs, and she's been called to play on, and Grant pursues her with a quick handball out there and a long boot in the middle of the ground by Buffs, but Delacour cuts that one off and plays on, takes on the tackler in Buffaloes there, and a nice long kick into Shiner, who just stands tall but can't quite take that mark, and follows up with a strong tackle, and Forshaw head over the footy. Ball's in dispute, and the umpires paid a free kick there, and Forshaw's into Lewis for a lovely work. Lucy Lewis getting around the banter today on field, trying to really set them off, which I think's working. It's rattling a few of the Saints girls. And so Lewis has just gone long to this wing here, and Delacour in front position. Doesn't quite take it cleanly, but buys out the back with a tap from Buffs, and they've come out. And Joe Miller again, she's in there. Didn't call her name for the last 5 minutes, so she must have been having a well-deserved break. But Carr with a kick around the body, and Hunter stretching mark. She'll take it back. She'll look for a target. She hasn't got long, though. The siren might beat them at some point, but Stark competes well, but picked up cleanly by Bozeville in the back line, but she's kicked it out on the full, and Hunter will take this free kick. So 18 minutes gone in this third quarter. I'd say you'd be looking for a mark now. No Saints people pushing back here, so everyone looking a bit tired with that heat. But you've got the likes of Senior, Stark, and all Winetti all in the back there, all strong, tall, marking forwards, and Stark's just got a smart tap over to Milo. Comes around on the left. Winetti in pursuit, but Buffs get there first in McLeod as she pursues it still. Beautiful pick up on that far side pocket and gets it out of that St Mary's 50, and it's a 2-on-1 over there, and Buffs have got the footy. And it's just rolled over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Well, time cannot, just cannot be much of it left at this point. 18, nearly 19 minutes gone in this quarter. A few hands on heads. It's been a pretty warm afternoon up here in Darwin. Plenty of humidity, of course, the wet season, so a lot of players looking to get to the break there. And there it is. It's three-quarter time. Buffaloes 2-0 to 12. St. Mary's 6-7-43. A strong lead at the moment. 31 points, but we'll be back right after this break.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
And bit of constructive talk. I know it's hard, we've been all from the same footy club, but we've come together for this. Show that passion in the MC Guernsey, get in their face.
Here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Their hearts out, and obviously it's not what we play 6-6-6 and 7 on the bench, so it's a little bit different. But you know what? We can't ask for anything more. The girls put their bodies on the line, and they went in and they went hard, and you know, some of it was unrewarded, but that's footy.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium 2023-24 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League Round 9 at Buffalo's St. Mary's. St. Mary's holding very strong with a 31-point lead, Sam. And is there something Buffaloes can do to, you know, maybe bring themselves back into the game here?
Well, I definitely thought given the last few weeks, Saints haven't really been challenged apart from last week against Palmerston, but I definitely thought the margin would be bigger. So credit to Buffs for really putting that body pressure on and holding that ball up across the ground. But I believe St. Mary's here deserve to really get a few more shots on goal and stop that flow from Buffaloes and those 2 goals that they let slip. But there's been a free kick to kick us off just after the ball went up, but Hillman will take that free kick and hit up Joe Miller nice and short, and she'll look to play on around the corner looking for Hughes and Oldhouse in there with a great spoil and perfectly done not to give away that front on contact free kick, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
Yeah, just the free kick there was Buffalo's playing crouching on their centre square before the bounce, so got to be just those little things, I think, for Buffaloes. Just hasn't fallen their way. Maybe that's a discipline issue, maybe not, but obviously when you're playing the Saints, you're always worried about those little things because they are so good at those things.
The ball come back in here. The boundary umpire just cleaning the ball, and not a bad throw in, but it's just gone over the head of the 2 ruckmen and picked up by Saints out the back to Fosbrook, who's looking for a target right on that 50, and she's hit up Lucy Lewis, so a turnover there. But Lewis will go back into traffic and hit up Elise and Nikki there, and she'll play on down the line looking for Ransom, and it will just go just a bit far, but it's stayed in perfectly, and Hillman with a beautiful pick-up and a great composed kick to Fosbrook straight down the wing. So I'd hope they'd look to switch here. She's got Delacour in the middle. She's also got Carr, so that she's just done a quick short kick there to Carr, who's smothered that kick off the boot, and Oldhouse just sold some candy to Anetti, and a long boot down the line to between a foot race between Ransom and Forshaw there, and Ransom will just smartly take that over the boundary line and cause a ball up and give herself time and her teammate time to get back.
I don't think Saints will be too worried about the margin here. Of course, they're keeping up with Pint, who have been dominant all year long, and just taking the wins as they come, especially when tough conditions like this. It's hot, so it is really tough on the players' bodies, of course.
So a shallow ball in there and some work, and the two Mollies are going at it here, but a free kick's been found to McLeod there. She'll take that free kick, and Hughes versus Old House, two strong girls in the middle there, just having a bit of biff, which is love a bit of passion in footy. As the Buffs get that kick in long, Fosbrook picks that up, takes on the Buffs girls, and Forshaw just with a flying kick out of the pack there, but beautifully picked up by Nikki, who's taken on the Saints player there, and Long causing that spoiling that ball, and Forshaw wrapped up inside Buffs 50. So good start to the quarter for Buffs here, just putting that pressure on, allowing that heat in their forward half as well, and locking that ball in. So Hillman versus Old House in the ruck, and Old House looking to rove her own footy, but Hum's in there for a long kick out for St Mary's, and Winetti will pick this up. She's got Byers out the back, who cleanly picks it up and is looking for Hunter down the line, and just worked under the over the ball, But a kick from Buffaloes, and it's been in dispute there, and McLeod overrunning it, with Old House just cleaning a clean elbow straight there to Hannah Fosbrook there off the footy, which I'd like to hopefully see a free kick paid here.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of frustrations for the Buffaloes at the moment.
So ball's going up here. Definitely some frustrations there. Disappointing to not see a free kick for that, which is quite dirty off the ball, but nevertheless, it's deep inside Buffs forward 50, and Wongamara there with a snap-on goal, and she's banged it through.
Oh, what a kick, what a goal. How about that? That is just we've seen another goal like that earlier in the game, and just so great to see these great skills, great highlights, and I think maybe a little bit too late for the Buffaloes, and maybe if that had have happened earlier in the game, it would have really got them up and about, and the lead isn't that much really, but we've talked about the frustrations, and it's only going to be about a matter of time before St Mary's start to take control of this game, and they do that so well, just holding the game up and just having full grasp of it.
Yeah, I think Wongamara was destined for a goal like that in today's game, and it's good to see her rewarded with that. She's sold a bit of candy. She's really got some run there. She's been the flashing light of Buffs. Keep trying to motivate them, but it's a lovely goal, and it's great to see those skills in our game. But as the ball's in dispute in the middle of the ground here, Winetti just gets a kick off the ground to playing in front Byers versus Roberts, and Roberts has come out with it, and she's on a quick kick on the left to being cut off there by Grant, who just can't quite take it cleanly, but good body work from Ransom, and Wongamara in there again with a kick out the pack, and Carr's picked it up looking for Byers down the line, who can't quite take that mark, and it's just spilled over the boundary line there.
Yeah, St Mary's not going to be too fast. They would love just take some time off the clock, really just soak it up. Of course, Buffaloes have brought that physical pressure. Whether it's been clean or not, they've done really well to put body on. But, yeah, Saints would just love to take the heat out of the game now.
So Old House takes that out of the ruck, as she famously does every time, or tries to every time. But long there, Carr with a quick hands to Forshaw, who's taken the player on and gets a kick down the line. But two Buffs players standing there waiting for it to come to them, and McLeod's picked it up, and a beautiful torp straight in the middle of the deck, and Delacour's just dropped that, with Parnell in pursuit of the Buffaloes there, but numbers to Buffaloes, and Harder Looney with a long kick, and Stokes versus Long here. This will be a good contest, but Henry with the run from behind and straight into an open goal square, and kicks Buffalo's fourth goal for the game.
Well, I might just retract my words, Sam. There is something now alive in Buffaloes. I don't know what it is. Maybe Saints are getting a little bit tired, maybe. Of course, putting on that body pressure, you would be getting tired pretty quick, but of course that direct ball movement, it's just working for Buffaloes, and it worked for Palmerston last week, and we're seeing it again with Buffaloes. So, they just got to... Do they still have it in the tank to keep doing that for the rest of this game? Because there's probably about 10 minutes possibly around as we near the 7-minute mark. So Can Buffaloes muster up something here?
Well, there's only 3 goals in it now, essentially, so Saints will need to really look for that body pressure, which they took on very well in the first quarter, but it seems like they've gone in their shell a little bit as the quarter's gone on, and that ball's just spilled out the back there. The umpire put the whistle to the mouth, but called play on, and Carr's picked it up cleanly, looking for Forshaw, who's just overrun the footy, puts her head over the ball, but doesn't quite pick the footy up, and Carr with a second effort and a smother there to not allow that ball going inside 50, and Senior just takes on that player in Ransom and a quick kick out, but Buffs again with numbers behind the footy, just waiting for that quick kick that St Mary's have been doing all day, straight into the hands there. But it's a 3-on-1 at the moment, so you'd hope that Saints can work this one out, and they do, looking for Hunter, who's just taken a mark, and she'll look to stem this flow because there's only 1-on-1 inside their 50. And now nobody actually inside Saints forward 50, but Hillman's just dropped over to the back while Trigg looks to pick this footy up cleanly, and Trigg can see her, but Buffs have read that much better, and the ball's just fallen short, and Liz Watkins there taking that mark. So she'll look to switch it over to the far side wing, and it's just cleared both players there, and Ali Trigg in pursuit there, but picked up by Boseville cleanly, and she's gone around on the left down the wing, and just a rolling kick into space, and Delacour first one there.
Ooh,
but a great tackle by Hanning. Not rewarded for a free kick or anything there, but Carr with a flying boot out the back, and it's just going to bounce unfavourably, and Lasso free kick to Darwin Buffaloes about halfway up the wing.
Well, Buffaloes have definitely upped their pressure here. I see a lot of people walking, though, for Buffalo, so I think they've got an opportunity now to bring it back, make it a 13-point game if they can, but they've got to be working.
Ransom out the back here by herself, so there's a 3-on-2 inside their forward 50, so if they can just get it in there, but Saints have denied that, and they've kicked down the line, and Miller with a beautiful mark against Boseville with the contest there. So she'll look to switch across the ground to Senior in the middle of the ground, who spent it before she'd had it and dropped that mark. But Grant in and under there with a quick handball out, but turned over and dived on by Buffaloes there, and we'll get a ball up.
Yeah, St Mary's loving this. All the stoppages of play. Just when you think Buffalo's getting on top, St Mary's just there to shut it down a little bit. So
Old House wins that tap, but Sarah Hum read it best out of the pack and just does a flying kick and cut off by Boseville there. So she'll look for someone, but she hasn't got much moving for her except for Ransom out on that far wing, who ball just falls short from her, but picked up cleanly in a quick handball by Jeffrey to herself, and it's come off, but a smother there by Trigg on Ransom's kick, and Senior for St Mary's has got a kick out the pack just to clear it, but Boseville first one there. So she's gone back down the line to a 1-on-1 between Senior and Jeffrey, it looks like there, or Ransom. The two 17s go at it there, and Senior's just protecting the space, not quite picking it up, but getting thrown off the ball, and we'll get a throw in on the far side wing.
Yeah, even now Buffalo's still bringing the pressure, but time is very much ticking away. Probably only about 6-7 minutes away, I think, from the end of the game. So really just got to be putting it all on the line now, the Buffaloes.
Yeah, so they've got a few playing in front off the back here. So Saints will need to look for a lower their eyes and a good skillful kick to get it over that line of defence from Buffs in their back. But Boseville pursues that and gets a kick out the pack. But it's going to roll over that boundary line for a Lasso free kick here. I'd like to see St Mary's switch that footy now and really make Buffs work for it, because if they're able to, they've got Grant in the middle, they've got Long down back. If they're able to switch that ball off this half-back flank, then I think that'll result and be rewarded with a goal.
100%.
Delacour goes down the line back into traffic and cut off there by Buffaloes with a quick handball out the pack to Old House, who was about to handball but snaps around on the right. And Mifsud there to cleanly pick that ball up, looking for Shiner, who takes a great mark in front, and she plays on, going inside St Mary's forward 50 with Hillman and Forshaw there in pursuit, and Forshaw just didn't quite nail that Shepherd, but picks it up and gets a beautiful kick to Hunter, who just took a mark inside in front of St Mary's goals, 40 out or so from inside their forward 50.
Well, you said Saints need to switch it, and, well, they didn't, but it's it hasn't really worked for them staying on that one side of the wing, and switching has worked for them. So finally, maybe Buffalo's just breaking down now.
So Hunter just gives herself a bit more of an angle coming around on that right. Doesn't quite make the line there, but good pressure, but knocked off the kick. Was Hillman knocked that ball out, and it's just been tapped over for the behind for St. Mary's.
Might be just enough for the St. Mary's, I reckon, especially if Buffalo can still get a little bit of a run here. It might just be enough.
So Lewis runs it out and hits up a target in Wongamara there, and who's calling for a teammate to come forward, but hangs that ball out to Nikki, and it's just been contested over the boundary line. So we'll get a throw in on Saints' half-forward flank.
Yes, things just pointing heavily in the Saints' direction, but I think for all the other teams in the competition, this would be a very intriguing game to watch, just seeing what St. Mary's haven't done right. And I think, of course, being such a classy outfit that St. Mary's are, you've got to do your research on them. And so I think Buffaloes have done really well to just maybe point out a few areas.
So a shallow throw in, Old House Red at best, takes it out the ruck and has a terrible kick going straight over the boundary line. No other way to describe that. Came off the side of her boot, and Saints will take this free kick through Byers, who's looking to switch it over there, and she's got two players out the back, but she goes in to the top of the 50 into the turnover zone, and it will be turned over by Lucy Lewis. 80% of balls kicked into this zone get turned over according to the stats, and Exhibit A right there. So Byers in contest, but Buffs with the numbers here. They'll look to get it out. Hillman at the bottom of that. A quick hands to Winetti, who kicks it short straight to Tenalia Miller there. And she's having a look for a teammate and just does a nice big bomb down there, and a great mark by Ali Trigg. So she'll play on her right and just hangs that ball up in the air for a while there with a few players sitting under it, but Hughes went for it first, while Miller picks it up and it kicks it inside for Saints forward 50, and Winetti coming straight at it, attacking the footy. Didn't pick it up cleanly, but leaves the way for Creed Ray to pick it up, and a quick handball to Stark, who takes on Michaela Roberts, and it's knocked out of her. Deemed to have time to get rid of it, and rewarded for that tackle there by Roberts. But as she looks to switch it, kicking it over to the dangerous Joe Miller, who's wrapped Wongamara up, who picked it up cleanly and has not made an attempt to get rid of it here, but we'll get a ball up, I believe. One umpire's calling a ball up, one's calling holding the ball, and it will be a ball up. So looking about to head over into overtime here, and it's inside Saints forward 50 with a tap out, but Boseville there to pick it up, and a kick in the middle of the ground to Parnell, who's taking a lovely high mark there, and she plays on, looking onto the far side flank, and she finds Creed Ray there. She also plays on, hits up a target in Carr, who's just dropped that mark, but she's got a bit of time off Roberts, and Roberts will look to wrap her up here and smothers that ball off the boot, and Carr just holding that footy in. She'll get paid holding the ball here. Not sure what's going on, but a ball up's been paid.
But it's that switching action for St. Mary's. It's worked well, and it didn't quite work out well then, but it was on there, 100%.
It was a beautiful kick, a few kick and marks there to make that switch happen, and I think Carr just copped a bit of a hit to the head then, which just slowed that down, but she's competitive nevertheless, and Stark takes the tackler on again, she ducks her head into that tackle and has lost the footy for holding the ball. So Carr, I think Stark needs to have a look for a few handballs here, really taking on these players, but getting wrapped up even the last 3 or 4 times that's happened. And she's just confronted Lucy Lewis there, and there'll be a downfield free kick. A bit undisciplined here, so Buffs will take this about the edge of the centre square. So we're 16 minutes gone into the last quarter, and Buffs just kicked that ball in the middle of the ground. Byers sitting under it, but Hart Aluni with the pick up and straight to Henry, who's got the kick away just in time, but Parnell will pursue this ball first, and off the deck by Hart Aluni, who's just off the ball, slung Parnell, but no free kick, and great work Parnell, just get up and get on with it, and a great tackle on that Buffs player under there, Kiara Henry there, but it's inside Buffs forward 50, and I think play the whistle, girls. They're all tired, they're all stopping, and that takes us to the siren.
There it is. St Mary's with a 20-point victory. St Mary's 6-8-44. Buffalo's 4-0-24. And Sam, is there a couple of players that you think had a pretty good day out in this low-scoring contest?
Yeah, well, you've got your multiple goal scorers in Senior and Stark. I think both of them had a lot of the footy. Obviously, Joe Miller, I didn't call her name as much in the second half, but so influential and so impactful for St Mary's. I think Hannah Hillman through the ruck had a great game, contested every ruck against Old House, winning most of them and roving her own ball as well. So it was quite a good game by them. I also think the likes of Lucy Lewis, she was strong down in the defence for Buffaloes. Kiara Henry ended up with a lot of the ball in that second half. Bianca Stokes was good when she pushed up and got into the game, and I think there was a few, I'd miss someone if I said Wongamara wasn't in there. She gave them a little bit of a spark in that last quarter as well and took the game on throughout the day. But I think as well, Bozeville was probably my last one who, across that half-back line, just kept rebounding everything out of St Mary's forward 50.
Well, thank you, Sam, for joining alongside me in the commentary box. It wraps it up here for women's Premier League action, but straight after this, there'll be some men's Premier League action going into tonight. So thank you so much for joining us. It was St Mary's by 20 points.